The Arrival, round one. The first song we hear, and we just knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, Outkast was finna be a problem. Y'all know what it was. The Players Ball and nothing else. Shit. Argue with your mom. If you remember the first time the culture had to pay attention, I do. When Players Ball dropped, man, this wasn't no debut record. This was an announcement. When Andre said the South had something to say, little did we know how much we was going to pay attention. Atlanta wasn't copying New York no more. They had their own slang. They had their own production. They had their own version of cool. And it was the truth. What about you, man? What you got for round one?
It's Dirty South, B.A. Dirty South. Look, you have said this on this show before. The South wasn't getting a lot of respect. To be able to write a song that renames the region, like the South was on a come up at this time. It was on a come up big. It wasn't getting its respect, but it didn't have a name. We didn't have a name to put us out there. The South said, fine, y'all don't want to put us at your table? We're going to build our own, and we're going to call it the Dirty South. The one record became a vocabulary for the entire American region. This round, I got Dirty South. That is round one. Drop down in the comments. Tell us who won. Round two, the street record. This is one of my favorite Goodie Mob records of all time. Fly Away.
Ooh.
Because this, like I just said in round one, this is the Goodie Mob standing up for the whole South. See, B.A., they didn't just say that the South couldn't rap. A lot of people like to act like we were just some old country, riding horses, Bama type dudes. And Goodie Mob, CeeLo said it straight. When we on your side of town, we on ask why. We abide by the rules that y'all live by. Look here, you welcome to come, you welcome to stay. But any disrespect, we will make your ass fly away. That is talking about the South. That's saying, look here, we gonna do our thing. You can either respect us or you can be gone.
Ooh.
So my street record is Fly Away. What you got over there?
I mean, we talking about hood spirituality, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talking about a record that sound like ATL at 2 a.m., just ride, no destination. We talking street music without sounding hard for no reason. Everyone say it with me, please. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you like fish and chips and all that good, everybody let me hear you say, oh yeah. Man, the title track, ATLians, that was the song. And I love that even though we felt like they announced themselves on the first project, we really didn't get to see them get down to that second album, man. That sophomore album, we really got to see them get down. And you gotta love it, baby. You gotta love it. That's what I got for round two.
Drop down in the comments and tell us who won. Round three, BA, the hit record. Now, this was one that I was scared of, and you got to go first. Going against Outkast in a round called the hit record is like training for a Tyson fight. It wasn't fun. What you got over there?
You know what? I'm gonna be nice with it. I'm not gonna give you a track that's for the hood. I'm not gonna give you a track for the strip club. No. I'm just gonna give you something that goes out to the baby mamas. Miss Jackson was it. It was on every radio station multiple times a day for a song that really was just catchy. It didn't really have that street direction. It wasn't like a uplifting record like a Dear Mama. It just rode in a pocket for everyday dudes dealing with BMs, yo, or the mothers of their children, should I say. Just the struggles of it. We all got friends who tell them stories. Yo, man, my girl mama hate me, bro. Like, she don't let me do nothing. It's always about he paying for this, paying for that. I don't get to go nowhere. So this song right here was for all of them plus all the baby mamas. That's what I got for round three, baby. The hit record, Miss Jackson. What you got?
A certified banger. Cell therapy. Cell Therapy is the one that talked about Atlanta like deeper and more honestly than anything else coming out about it at that time. And it's the one people know because that beat was boom, 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 boom. People finally understood the paranoia that we have in the South. Who's that peeping in my window? Right? CeeLo's verse in that song was when he talks about the gated communities and how everything's supposed to be drug-free and minorities get walled off into different communities. His line about, every now and again, I wonder if they put that gate up to keep crime out or to keep our ass in. To be able to cross over so many different audiences with that song. So round 3 for me, I'm going with Cell Therapy. Drop down in the comments and tell us who won. Round 4, the feature master. You and I talked about this for like a week about how much fun the feature tracks were going to be. So I'm going to get it out of the way. Get up, get out. This was technically an Outkast song, but Cujo and CeeLo took home the game ball on this one. And all I got to say is I don't recall ever graduating at all. Sometimes I feel as if I'm just a disappointment to y'all. Look.
Yo,
see?
we talked.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
And like you said, I know I'm supposed to be against you, but when I listened to that interview from Gip, and Gip said this was CeeLo's first attempt of a recorded rap. This was it. This was the beginning. This is the start. So you just a pro of the first time.
Who you got over there for round 4 to feature?
Believe it or not, this was hard, man. This was hard. And let me, for the listening audience, let me explain to you why it was hard. Outkast had some songs where they featured together, but they actually had more songs where they did not. Where each one of them did their thing on somebody else's song, and so it made it difficult. Sometimes, we got a saying in the sport that I coach. Sometimes you just got to simplify, baby. Hit pitches you can hit. You know what I'm saying? So for the feature kill, it's none other than the International Players Anthem,
yes.
Right? Because both was on the song and they both destroyed the song. No other explanation needed for that. That song was the song. Period, point blank.
Heard it. Round 4. Drop down in the comments. Let us know what's up. Round 5. The Bar Fest, BA. Now, I know with Outkast, this one had to be fun.
And the song I chose, you're not going to be ready for it.
Uh-oh.
Like,
come on.
Because it's not something you would think I would chose. It probably would have been something you would have picked, for sure. I wanted no gimmick. I wanted no filler. And I know that sounds crazy from an Outkast track, but I didn't want it to hang on anything. I wanted this to just remind you that they could rap. But most importantly, I picked a song that could remind you that Big Boy was not an afterthought on these tracks. My mind warps and bends. You know where I'm going with it. None other than a criminal. Plain and simple.
Yes. That's one of my favorite tracks.
I know it. It's elite Southern lyricism is the best way I could explain it. It's not overcomplicated, but it is very structured and very technical. And everybody can relate to it, I feel. You don't necessarily need to be on the South to really appreciate Equipment. I'll go with Equipment. What about you? What you got right here?
Man, for the Bar Fest, I went with one they featured Outkast on. I went with Get Rich to This.
Oh, I love that song.
I'm going to give a little love to Outkast here because Big Boy, look, everybody on this song, first of all, that beat was a straight banger. But everybody,
you put it up sideways.
Everybody on this song understood the assignment. Just eat. That's all because Big Boy and everybody just straight got off on that song. No confusion, no overthinking anything. No crazy ass experimental decisions in the middle of it. Just rappers who came to rap.
Of course.
And when that beat locked in, they got down. They
got busy.
It looked like a crime scene. That one earns respect, man. So for that one, I got Get Rich to This. We'll do 100 on the highway.
Get rich to this.
Hey, 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 hey. Drop down in the comments. Let us know who won that round. Round 6, the club smash. This was the scariest round for me. I got dressed for this round like that kid from Little Giants with all the cushion and everything on me. So for the club smash, I decided to be a smartass and pick an anti-club song. They Don't Dance No More.
How you see the song?
Yep. Goodie Mob told everybody, they made a song telling everybody that y'all whack. He said, y'all don't even dance no more.
All you do is this.
That thing was in all of the clubs. It's almost as brilliant as Manny's Go DJ for a club track. Everybody in the club wants to get up and dance to the song called They Don't Dance. Marketing wise, that's all I'm saying. Marketing wise,
yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I got They Don't Dance No More. What you got over there on that side?
So I was going to go with the obvious choice, clearly. Actually, there's two. You could go with Big Boy's version or Andre's version, both of them very club. I didn't want to be very wedding songish. I wasn't going with that. I went with the second biggest international song I felt like they had for clubs, because if you've never been overseas and you've never been into a club in another country like England or Germany, or like, it's high energy all the time. It's very much high energy. So what better high energy song than Bombs Over Baghdad, baby? So, hey, you better get your oxygen ready, baby. If you're asthmatic, you better get your puff, because it is finna be on.
That's one of those songs that starts at 100 miles an hour and that
Don't
don't stop.
That don't ever stop.
Drop down in the comments. Let us know what's up. Who won round 6? Round 7, the story record. Now, there's a lot to choose from on the cast side. What you got over there, BA?
I mean, I'm not even going to hold you. When I say I'm not going to hold you, I'm not going to hold you. The song describes the round perfectly. What better story record from Outkast than The Art of Storytelling Part?
Ooh. Okay.
Sasha Thumper might be one of the greatest fictional characters in history, baby.
Sasha Thumper.
This wasn't a song. This was a short film. It gave you everything: narrative, emotion, cinematic writing. It was amazing, man. And I'm going to leave you with that. What about you?
So for the story record, I went with thought process. This is just real people talking about living in the South. The real story, not the Popeye's New Orleans version, the real honest version with rough edges and no resolution. It's them being characters in the movie of life in the South. Thought process was the one for me that I went with on the story record. Drop down in the comments and tell us who won. Round 8, BA, the cultural moment. I went with one that doesn't get talked about enough. Guess who? Yeah, and I think that's almost the point. But
that's I want to hear this.
Goodie Mob understood something after you made it, after you did everything you were supposed to do, and the world still looks at you sideways. You know, success didn't remove the conditions. It just changed the angle of them. Mm-hmm. You got money, you got a name, and you still have to keep proving shit to people. And just saying that plainly in 1995, coming out of Atlanta, guess who seemed like a real cultural moment to me, even if it didn't get the name or didn't get the recognition that it should get. What you got over there for the Outkast cultural moment?
The song You Cannot Escape.
Oh.
You couldn't run from it. You couldn't hide from it. Somehow some weird experimental funk in a breakup song became one of the biggest songs on earth. Let me say it again, on earth. This record was unavoidable, son. Like, when it happened, everybody had the same question on their mind. What's cooler than cold? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it was hey y'all when it hit. If you were like me, you did this first. Why are we doing this? Because Outkast was known to do videos that had plays on like a Motown group, or they've done things like that in their music. But what made this song to me so undeniable was this might have been the truest version of Andre 3000 at that moment in time. that we've ever had. I mean, ever. This might have been his truest self, and the rewards were tenfold.
That's round 8. Drop down in the comments. Let us know who won round 8. Round 9, the modern test. BA, what's that long-lasting Outkast track that still survives?
This the one you feel. You bumped it? Absolutely, right? But this one touched your soul from the hook. I believe it was something like me and you, your mama and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Vogue, coming up, slamming Cadillac, don't. Look here, when we're not even going to talk about the last verse because the last verse is legendary. Everybody knows.
Say, man.
But when you get to how this came in with this beat, it's a really a 1 and 3, not necessarily a 2 and 4 with a skip. The sound should not make sense for someone to be able to rap on it. You just shouldn't. They picked pockets where they literally sped up and slowed down in the same verse and never missed the beat. Do you know how difficult that is to do as a singer, let alone as a rapper? Like spoken word poetry, it would be difficult, and you get to control the flow completely in spoken word. I feel like this song aged like fine whiskey, and not wine. I'm talking about whiskey. That good old barrel, double barrel, triple barrel, is because there was no sense of urgency in this song. When we talk about you got to let a verse breathe, they let an entire song breathe. And I mean, it was one complete, and you felt better for it. What about you?
All right, for me, for the modern test, man, it's Soul Food.
I love that song.
Soul Food's not their biggest hit. I mean, it's not really a track where they ate the most. But to me, if there's one song that describes, that helps show you who Goodie Mob was and what they stood for, it was this one. It was community, spirituality, Southern identity, and truth. All of it in one spot, and none of it fighting for space. That's what, if anybody ever wants to know what a Sunday in the South feels like, it's that song. That's what Southern Sundays feel like. I went with Soul Food, and that is round 9 for us. Drop down in the comments. Tell us who won round 9. Tell us who won them all. And then if you're really upset with what we picked, go on and tell us what you would have picked. I'd like to know that too.
Me too, because I'd like to hear anybody try to pick an Outkast track that doesn't help Goodie Mob's case because CeeLo ate on it. Like, understand, my 2 favorite songs by Outkast is Get Up, Get Out, and In Due Time. And CeeLo ate on both them joints. So, like, very difficult.
Yeah, CeeLo seems to eat on everybody's track. But that's it for us. That is the GMB Versus, y'all. Tune in this Friday. We'll have a question to answer for you. Who do you think out of these 2 groups shaped the Atlanta sound more? So tune in for that. We'll be back then and next week. Be good, y'all. I'm Chad. That man is BA.